Palm Beach, Florida. Behind locked gates sat a private mansion, quiet from the outside, hiding a secret that would last more than a decade. Jeffrey Epstein was a wealthy financier with political connections, private jets, and powerful friends. To the public, he appeared to be a discreet billionaire donor, but to many local families, he was someone else entirely. A man who offered tutoring, mentorship, and small amounts of money to young people struggling financially. Over the years, dozens of young victims were brought to Epstein's home. They were paid small sums of cash, then pressured into increasingly harmful situations. The same pattern repeated again and again: recruitment, isolation, and silence. In 2005, a victim's parents finally reported what had happened to police. Investigators identified more than 30 victims connected to Epstein. The case drew national attention, and then, just as suddenly, it slowed. Instead of facing federal prosecution, Epstein received a secret plea deal in 2008. He was sentenced to 18 months in county jail, allowed work release 6 days a week, and granted immunity for unnamed associates. The deal would later become one of the most criticized legal agreements in U.S. history. Washington, D.C., courtrooms, closed doors, and a deal the victims were never told about. Federal prosecutors had evidence strong enough to pursue serious criminal charges. Many victims believed accountability was finally coming. Behind the scenes, Epstein's legal team negotiated directly with federal officials. The final agreement was signed without notifying the victims. Epstein ultimately served just 13 months, often leaving jail during the day. Many victims only learned about the deal after it was already over. The case later triggered reforms emphasizing victims' rights in federal plea negotiations, but no official involved in approving the agreement faced criminal charges. Private jets, multiple passports, island properties. Epstein did not act alone. He relied on assistants, pilots, recruiters, and staff across multiple properties, including a private island in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Victims reported being flown between states and countries. Some were encouraged to recruit others. The operation followed a consistent structure, suggesting organization rather than isolated misconduct. Despite repeated allegations, Epstein continued traveling freely for years. No major investigation into his associates occurred at the time. The idea of elite protected trafficking networks entered mainstream discussion, but enforcement lagged far behind public awareness. July 6, 2019, Teterboro Airport, New Jersey. Epstein returned to the United States, believing his past agreements still protected him. Federal agents arrested him on trafficking and conspiracy charges. Prosecutors described a long-running system of exploitation involving vulnerable individuals. The arrest dominated global headlines. For the first time, survivors believed they would speak in open court. The case reopened scrutiny of prosecutors, politicians, and institutions that had failed to act earlier. Metropolitan Correctional Center, New York City, early morning, August 10, 2019. Epstein was awaiting trial. He was supposed to be under close supervision. He was found dead in his cell. His death was officially ruled a suicide. Public trust collapsed instantly. Guards were accused of falsifying records. Cameras malfunctioned. Key questions were never fully answered. His death permanently ended criminal proceedings and deepened public distrust in the justice system's ability to hold powerful offenders accountable. Courtrooms stood without a defendant. With Epstein gone, survivors turned to civil lawsuits. Victims sued Epstein's estate and those accused of enabling his actions. Banks and financial institutions were accused of ignoring warning signs. Settlements reached into the hundreds of millions of dollars. Survivors received compensation, but no criminal closure. Financial institutions faced new pressure to monitor elite clients. Survivors gained stronger legal tools to pursue accountability from enablers. Jeffrey Epstein's crimes didn't just expose one man. They exposed how wealth, secrecy, and influence can delay justice, sometimes forever. Investigations reopened. Systems were questioned. But for many survivors, accountability came too late. If you want to discuss this video or suggest an idea for the next one, comment down below.